Welcome to the Crypto Barbershop. Step into the Crypto Barbershop, a place where tokens get trimmed, egos get edged up, and everyone's got something to say. It smells like ambition and burnt smart contracts. The walls are lined with magazine covers from bull runs past, and the floor? Covered in discarded white papers and broken promises. XRP's already in the chair, loud, animated. He's halfway through a heated argument with the barber about regulation, decentralization, and how they're all afraid because I was built to replace Swift. He's got a briefcase full of SEC documents and a chip on his shoulder. He's not getting a haircut. He's making a statement. ALGO's in the back, sitting under a dryer that's not even on, reading a 200-page academic paper he wrote himself about Byzantine fault tolerance. Every 3 minutes, he looks up and asks the room, "Did you know I can finalize a block in under 4 seconds with mathematical certainty?" No one responds. He nods anyway, as if someone did. Then, there's HBAR. You almost miss him, sitting in the corner. Hoodie up, earbuds in. He's not talking. He's not flexing. He's under the counter, quietly fixing the Wi-Fi that's been broken for weeks. And when it starts working, everyone cheers, but no one asks who fixed it. HBAR just shrugs, sips his drink, and goes back to quietly processing 10,000 transactions per second. No drama, no hype, just output. Here's the thing though, that might be exactly why he wins this year. Because while XRP is arguing, and ALGO is explaining, HBAR is executing. While others chase Twitter mentions and trending charts, BAR's out here securing enterprise partnerships, locking in real-world utility, and building the rails that the next financial system might actually run on. And when the dust settles and the barbershop closes, it won't be about who talked the loudest. It'll be about who got the job done. This isn't a hype piece. This is the underdog story you didn't know you needed. And if you're the kind of investor who looks beyond the noise, who's here to understand the fundamentals before the headlines catch on, you're in the right place. Subscribe now. Hit the bell. Because by the time the market wakes up to what BAR's been building in the shadows, he'll already be out the door and halfway to the next barbershop. Let's break it all down and see why Hedera just might outpace XRP and ALGO in 2025. Without saying a word, the bar fight, aka, where everyone's loud except the winner. If you've spent more than 5 minutes in the crypto space, you've seen it, the endless shouting match. Every coin wants to be king. Every founder is a visionary. Every project is revolutionizing the future of finance. It's a bar fight in slow motion, one tweet at a time. And nowhere is that fight louder than between the old-school warriors and the new tech intellectuals. XRP's been fighting since before it was cool. He's the OG that never left the gym scarred, sharp-tongued, with court documents as his battle scars. He's been kicked out of exchanges, sued by the SEC, and still walks into the bar like he owns it. "Global liquidity is mine," he shouts. "I am the bridge currency. The rest of you are test nets with good branding." He slams his drink, glares at the bartender, and starts quoting Brad Garlinghouse like scripture. Meanwhile, ALGO's pacing nearby, sipping overpriced mineral water. He's got graphs printed on his t-shirt and insists everyone call him a Layer 1 innovator. He uses words like quantum resilience and formal verification in casual conversation. He talks fast, smiles big. He'll tell you all about his tech stack, the math behind his protocol, the awards he's won, and how his consensus mechanism is elegant. He doesn't fight, he debates, and he always thinks he's winning. Now look to the back of the bar again. You see him? HBAR hasn't moved. Still in the same seat. Still wearing the same hoodie. Still fixing stuff nobody else wants to deal with. Someone spills a drink near the server rack. HBAR gets up, wipes it, reboots the system, keeps the network alive. You see, the others talk about disruption. HBAR? He's been in the walls, upgrading the pipes while everyone argued about who gets to run the water. He doesn't need to explain why he matters, because he's already essential. But it's easy to overlook the quiet one in the chaos, especially in a world that rewards hype over substance, volatility over vision. And yet, if you ask the smartest guy in the room who they'd bet on long-term, they don't point to who's yelling. They point to HBAR. Because every story has that one character. The one who doesn't get much screen time in the beginning. The one who keeps their head down while everyone else shows off. The one who's underestimated until the third act. And when the stakes rise and the dust settles, that quiet character usually ends up saving the day. So who is HBAR? Really? What makes him different? Not just in narrative, but in nature? For that, we have to go back to school. Coming up next, let's open the notebook and meet the protocol that aced the exam while everyone else was still filling in their name. We all knew someone like him in school. The one who didn't talk much, didn't wear the trendy shoes, didn't argue with the teacher, didn't sit at the popular table. But come test day, he broke the curve. Every time. Not because he crammed. Not because he tried to impress anyone. But because, quietly, he understood the assignment. That's HBAR. He doesn't chase headlines. He doesn't throw wild marketing campaigns or airdrop drama into the timeline. He doesn't even call himself a blockchain. Because he isn't one. HBAR is a hash graph. A distributed ledger technology that works differently than what most crypto people are used to. No mining. No clunky blocks. Just a gossip protocol that shares data the way rumors spread in a school hallway. Fast, efficiently, and to everyone who needs to know. It's not flashy. It's not loud. But it works. And it works really well. We're talking 10,000 plus transactions per second, TPS. Finality in seconds. Near zero fees. Carbon negative infrastructure. Governing council made up of real-world giants like Google, Boeing, IBM, LG, Dell, and Standard Bank. That's not a meme coin lineup. That's a boardroom. While XRP was making headlines in court, and ALGO was applying for another grant, HBAR was processing millions of transactions for Fortune 500s. He was working behind the scenes, powering tokenized carbon markets, enabling supply chain verification, running public-private CBDC pilots with actual governments. But like that kid in school, nobody noticed. Because the spotlight never shines on the quiet one. Not at first. And HBAR? He never asked for it. He doesn't need you to believe in him. He just needs time. Time for the real-world use cases to mature. Time for enterprise partners to scale. Time for regulators to finish the race that he's already been training for since day one. And when that time comes, he won't need to raise his voice. His results will speak for him. But in every story, there's a turning point. A moment where the quiet genius gets his shot. The chance to show not just potential but power. And that moment is coming fast. To see it, we've got to look beyond the protocol and into the things Bar's been carrying all this time. You know that suitcase no one's bothered to open? Let's unzip it. The suitcase nobody opened. Coming up next, and inside, some serious game changers. The thing about HBAR is he's always had that suitcase. You know the type, black, nondescript, locked tight. He carries it everywhere, but never talks about it. Other coins tease him. Hey H, what's in the bag? He just smirks. Doesn't even flinch. The others assumed it was empty. Or maybe just full of dev notes and unrealized ambitions. But the truth? That suitcase is stuffed. Not with hype. Not with empty roadmaps. With real-world infrastructure. Inside, you'll find entire ecosystems most people haven't even heard about. Yet, you'll see. Micropayments designed for streaming content and gaming platforms. Carbon markets that are actually live, not just in development. Tools for supply chain tracking with full regulatory compliance. Digital identity systems being tested by governments. CBDC pilots with frameworks that aren't PowerPoint slides, but production-ready code. And while other projects are pitching use cases on stage, Bar's been out here deploying them quietly, sometimes with partners you didn't even know were involved in crypto. No press releases, no confetti, just silent wins. And the more you look, the more you realize. HBAR wasn't trying to win your attention. He was too busy winning the trust of institutions. While the market drooled over token burns and speculative pumps, HBAR was sitting down with legal teams, tech departments, and CEOs. He doesn't want your dopamine. He wants your infrastructure. And the funny thing is, it's working. More and more you hear whispers. Wait, Hedera's doing what with the United Nations? Google still sits on the governing council? Hold on. When did they get integrated with Dell? Because the moment always comes when someone, a trader, a fund, a major player, finally asks, "Hey, what's in the suitcase?" And by then, it's too late. Because while others were selling vision, HBAR was delivering value. And value, the boring, unsexy kind, is what wins long-term. Still, even now, most won't get it. They'll scroll past. They'll say, "Bar's too quiet, too corporate, too slow." And then one day they'll open their dashboards and wonder when it happened. How the network no one was talking about suddenly became the backbone of more real-world transactions than the loud ones ever touched. But the signs were there, buried in plain sight. And if you've been watching closely, you'll know the stillness is not stagnation. It's pressure. Quiet, building, undeniable pressure. And when that pressure finally releases, well, you'll hear it. Even if HBAR doesn't say a word. Every coin gets its moment. Sometimes it's a meme run. Sometimes it's a news cycle. Sometimes it's sheer dumb luck and perfect timing. But every once in a while, a coin gets a moment that was earned. And right now, under the surface of BAR's still waters, something's moving. You don't see it in price action. Not yet. The chart looks asleep. Unimpressed. Boring. That's how pressure builds, quietly. The enterprise partners? They're not demoing anymore. They're launching. The governing council? They're not experimenting. They're deploying. And retail? Still out here waiting for an influencer to say, "Yo, have y'all heard of Hedera?" But by then, the storm will already be here. Here's what the market always forgets. Real moves don't start with fireworks. They start with silence. With weeks, months of low volatility, low volume, low excitement, until it flips. Until the thing that nobody was watching suddenly goes vertical, and everyone scrambles to understand why. And here's why it's coming. Because BAR's not trying to disrupt banks. He's integrating with them. He's not running from regulators. He's running ahead of them. He's not building hype. He's building infrastructure. He's the one laying bricks while others paint castles in the sky. And when those castles collapse, as they always do, guess where the institutions will go? To the foundation. To the network that didn't blink when the noise peaked. To the one that's still standing when the drama fades. That's what makes this different. This isn't the beginning of a pump. It's the beginning of a shift. From speculation to substance. From retail hype to institutional demand. From what if to it's already live. BAR's been ready. He just needed the world to catch up. And now, it's close. Closer than the charts suggest. Closer than most of crypto is willing to admit. And if you're still thinking about whether to look deeper, whether to position early or wait for the headlines, just know, when this thing flips, it's not coming back to pick up passengers. Because HBAR doesn't circle the block. He drives straight through. There's always that moment. Not when the price pumps. Not when Twitter spaces light up. Not even when the media finally starts paying attention. It's before that. It's the moment when the crowd, distracted, dismissive, half asleep, suddenly turns. Eyes widen, brows furrow, fingers hover over charts they haven't checked in months. And the question echoes through the timeline like a siren. Wait, when did HBAR do all that? But by the time they ask, he's already gone. Because HBAR doesn't need to chase attention. He doesn't need hashtags, memes, or hype men shouting from rooftops. He doesn't care about being trendy. HBAR is built different. While the rest of the market screams for your attention, HBAR is building infrastructure so essential it doesn't need to be flashy, because eventually, everyone will use it without even knowing. It's not built on community drama. It's not built on speculation. It's built on need. Real-world, enterprise-grade, regulation-ready need, the kind that doesn't care about bull markets or bear cycles. The kind that integrates silently. The kind that scales. And right now, while everyone's eyes are locked on meme coins, regulatory soap operas, and who's building what on the latest Layer 2 playground, HBAR is doing what he's always done. Working, shipping, partnering, positioning, executing, quietly, relentlessly, successfully. You can ignore him. You can laugh at him. You can scroll past him. But here's the part no one likes to hear. BAR's already in the room. Already at the table. Already trusted by names that move economies, not TikToks. Already running systems the mainstream hasn't even realized exist yet. And when the narrative flips, because it will, when the spotlight moves from noise to necessity because it must, when the financial system finally hums to the rhythm of ISO 20022 and the rails beneath it start to glow with real utility, you'll either be in position or in disbelief, because there will be no second knock at the door, no last chance tweet, no viral moment, no neon sign telling you it's time. By the time the crowd wakes up, HBAR will already be miles ahead. So if you're here reading this, ask yourself, are you watching history build itself quietly in front of you? Or are you still waiting for permission? Because this is the signal. And if you came looking for hype, you're in the wrong place. But if you came for the signal, the real one, then you're exactly where you need to be. Subscribe right now. Turn on notifications. Because this channel doesn't chase noise. It tracks tectonic shifts. It follows fundamentals. It surfaces truth. And we don't just talk about the future. We watch it being written. BAR's moment has arrived. And if you're still here, maybe, just maybe, it's your moment too. Don't miss it. Not this time. Not again.